Hey guys, welcome back. So today we are going to be talking about the credit card shopping cart trick. We're going to be talking about what this trick is, who it's good for, and then we're going to go through and do an actual live demonstration and see if I can't get pre-approved for one of these credit cards. If you're new to this channel is dedicated to all things personal finance, helping you earn more, spend less, and invest the difference. So essentially, the credit card shopping cart trick is a way to get pre-approved for store-branded credit cards. And this can be fantastic for people that have been struggling with their credit score. Maybe something has gone wrong in life. Maybe you've had a foreclosure, bankruptcy, repossession, and your credit score has suffered dramatically because of it. These store-branded credit cards are a great way to get back on your feet with your credit score and start rebuilding your credit. So if you're someone that is in that category, your credit score has suffered, you know just how frustrating it can be trying to apply for credit cards the traditional way. Now, it's true you can try to go out and get a secured credit card, but that can be challenging because often the security deposit required for a secured credit card is on the low end, between $200 and $500, and not everybody has that kind of money laying around, especially to put up just for a security deposit on a credit card. So how are you supposed to get back on your feet and start rebuilding your credit score? Well, that's where this shopping cart trick can come into play. Now, these store-branded credit cards are legitimate credit cards. They will report to all three major credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. So they will start to rebuild your credit, assuming that you are actually paying your bills on time for these credit cards like you're supposed to. Now, there's a few good things about these store-branded credit cards, and the first one is that they are traditionally much easier to get approved for, in this case pre-approved for, than most traditional credit cards. So even if your credit score is currently suffering, there's a very high probability that we can get you one of these store-branded credit cards. In addition, some store-branded credit cards don't even do a hard inquiry on your credit report, so it's not going to ding your credit report. Now, it is getting a little bit harder and harder. More and more of these store-branded credit cards are moving to do an actual hard inquiry, like almost every other credit card on the market does a hard inquiry. So it's not guaranteed that it's going to do a soft pull on your credit, but as a general rule of thumb, if you have to put in your full social security number when you are applying and going through the process for these store-branded credit cards, then you're probably getting a hard pull. But if you only have to put in the last 4 digits of your social, there's at least a decent chance that it's only going to do a soft credit pull. Now, as I said, these store-branded credit cards are legitimate credit cards. They will report to all 3 major credit bureaus. However, most store-branded credit cards are closed-loop credit cards. And what that means is this credit card is only used at this particular store. So in this particular example, I'm going to be showing you how to get pre-approved for the Victoria's Secret credit card, but there's a lot of different store-branded credit cards out on the market. But essentially what that means is this credit card is only going to be useful at Victoria's Secret, so you can't take this to Walmart and try to buy groceries with it. So if you don't plan on shopping at Victoria's Secret, then you probably may not want to apply for this particular store brand credit card. Maybe you want to apply for a different store branded credit card, one that you will actually use. Now, to repair your credit, you don't have to buy something on this credit card every single month. But I would highly recommend buying at least one small item every 3 or 4 months. That way it's still actively reporting as being an active credit card to the 3 different bureaus, and so you'll get that credit score boost. Alright guys, so enough of that. Let's get straight to the good stuff. Let's do a live demonstration and show you just how easy it is to get pre-approved for some of these store-branded credit cards using this shopping cart trick. Alright guys, so here we go with a live demonstration of how to get pre-approved for store-branded credit cards. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to actually want to disable pop-ups. Most people surf the web with some sort of a pop-up blocker enabled because pop-up blockers are highly annoying. But for the purpose of this video, we actually need pop-ups because that's how we're going to get targeted with these store-branded credit cards. So I am using Google Chrome for my web browser. So if you are using Microsoft Edge, Firefox, or Internet Explorer, something like that, The next 30 seconds or so might be a little bit different, but essentially you're going to come up here, at least in Google Chrome, to these three dots up here. You're going to go to your internet settings, come down here to settings, and we're going to be looking for pop-ups. So in this case, in the search bar, I'm just going to type POP for pop-ups, and that's going to bring this up right here. And you can see this is for the section for the pop-ups. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to scroll down, and here, as you can see, pop-ups and redirects, they are currently blocked. So we want to turn this on. We want to allow pop-ups. Now, obviously, as soon as you're done with this trick and you have gotten pre-approved for your credit card, be sure to come back on here and make sure you re-block all pop-ups because they're highly annoying. All right, so now that pop-ups are allowed, we can just close this, and we're going to go to victoriassecret.com. All right. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to load our shopping cart up with about $200-300 worth of stuff, and then we are going to start the checkout process. Now, you don't actually have to go through the whole checkout process. You are not, I repeat, you do not have to actually buy any of this stuff in order to get approved for these credit cards. You just have to sort of go through the motion. So it doesn't really matter what we're going to buy. Let's buy some sleepwear, some pajama sets. That sounds good enough. All right. See, here we go with the pop-ups. We don't want to be added to their email distro list. So I'm just going to close that. All right. Yep. That's a pajama set, $69.50. So like I said, we want about $200-300 worth of stuff typically. So we are going to be buying a couple of these pajama sets. That way there's actually enough dollar amount in our shopping cart when we go to checkout that we get targeted with one of these offers. So this is basically $70 a pop. So I'm going to go ahead and put 4 of these in my shopping cart. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add to bag. Short, unavailable. All right, well, okay. I guess I had to pick a length as well. Doesn't really matter because we're not going to end up buying these anyway. So now, as you can see, we've got 4 items in our bag at $278. So we are going to go ahead and proceed to checkout. Now, if you have an account, you can go ahead and log in, but you don't have to. I'm just going to go ahead and check out as guest. All right, so now there's a couple of different steps in the checkout process, as you know. So I'm going to have to fill in my address, my delivery, where I want it delivered, and then obviously my credit card information. Now, you don't actually buy anything until you get all the way through. You put in all of this stuff and you hit submit. But like I said, we are not actually going to be buying any of these things, but we have to start going through the motions. Now, I'm going to blank out my information because y'all a bunch of creepers and you don't need to know where I live, but I'm just going to start inputting my stuff, and I'll resume the video here in just a moment. All right, guys, so as you can see, I just put in my address. That was the only thing I had to fill out. I didn't even need to put in my credit card information or anything like that before this particular pop-up came up and I was targeted with this credit card offer. It says, "Congratulations, you have been pre-approved for the Victoria's Secret credit card." And I guess it looks like you also get $15 off your purchase if you end up going and getting this credit card. It doesn't matter unless, of course, you actually end up buying some of this stuff in your shopping cart, which is, like I said, not necessary, but you do get $15 off if you do end up shopping at Victoria's Secret, so that's not bad, I guess. Now, this was an educational video, so I am not actually going to go ahead and get this credit card, but if you were interested in getting this credit card, you would just hit accept now and then walk through the additional prompts that they're going to bring up for this credit card. But as you can see, we were pre-approved for this store branded credit card just by loading up our shopping cart with a couple $100 worth of stuff and starting out pretending like we were going through the motions of checking out. All right, guys, so that was it. As you can see, I was pre-approved for this Victoria's Secret credit card. using the shopping cart trick. It really is that easy to get pre-approved for these store-branded credit cards. So what are some troubleshooting tips? What if you did not get targeted with this credit card offer? Well, the first thing that you can check is you can go to the website optoutprescreen.com. This is a website where you can opt out of being targeted for these pre-approved credit card offers. So if you have ever opted out of receiving these credit card offers in the past, maybe you didn't like the spam or anything like that you were getting, now you need to undo that and you will need to opt back in. So this step is only needed if you have previously opted out of getting these credit card offers. I would opt back in, give it a few days for the system to update itself, and then try this method again. And if that didn't work, make sure the address that you are using during the checkout process is the same address that is showing on your various credit reports from Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, etc. So if you have just recently moved, you may need to go and update your information. That way the various credit bureaus have your most recent stuff, because they still do need to validate who you are. That way they can target you with these pre-approved credit offers. And the last trick, if you're not getting targeted with one of these pre-approved credit offers, if the store has a loyalty program, some sort of points or reward system for repeat customers, it might be worth trying to sign up for that loyalty program and then running through this process again and trying to get targeted with a pre-approved credit card offer that way. The logic behind this is that loyalty programs are for people that expect to be repeat customers, and so stores make a lot of money on repeat customers. They want to keep you as a repeat customer. So if there's any indication that you might potentially be a new repeat client for them, then they're going to want to treat you right, and they're going to want to target you with as much stuff as they can, which would include then this store-branded credit card. So that's going to do it for us today, folks. If you got pre-approved for one of these store-branded credit cards, leave a comment down below and let the world know that this trick worked for you. If you found this video useful, be sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and as always, I'll see you all again next time. Thanks.